What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, fans have grown concerned over recent photos that have surfaced of undefeated three-division world champion superstar boxer Gervonta Tank Davis, who is 28 wins, no loss, no draw, 26 big wins by way of knockout, 28 years of age, 5'5" with a 67-inch arm reach, in a wheelchair at the Super Bowl yesterday. Many fans have grown concerned. This ahead of what many people expect to have a huge announcement for Gervonta Tank Davis to face off against undefeated lightweight, junior welterweight, Mexican superstar title contender King Ryan Garcia, who has 23 wins, no loss, no draw, 19 wins by way of knockout, 24 years of age, 5'10" with a 70-inch arm reach. Okay, many people, they thought that there's a possibility that we could get an announcement for Gervonta Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia yesterday at halftime for the Super Bowl, after the Super Bowl. There was so many different reports that you could possibly get Gervonta Tank Davis this announcement for this highly anticipated lightweight catchweight showdown between Gervonta Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia, who both was at the Super Bowl. Okay, Ryan Garcia has photos at the Super Bowl. Gervonta Tank Davis has photos at the Super Bowl. But this is the alarming photo that surfaced of Gervonta Tank Davis being wheeled around in a wheelchair. Okay, and many people are concerned. Why is Gervonta Tank Davis in the wheelchair? Now, nobody knows. Obviously, Gervonta Tank Davis and his team are aware. They were all at the Super Bowl yesterday. And this could just be Gervonta Tank Davis, enjoying the fruits of his labor, right? He just could be, he could have hurt his foot, just tired, fatigue, so on and so forth. It could be very, very minor, or it could be something that's serious, but who knows? And April 15th in Las Vegas, Nevada marks the date that we're supposed to get Ryan Garcia versus Gervonta Tank Davis. And so obviously fans are paying attention to every little thing that's going on between Gervonta Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia. And, every movement that Gervonta Tank Davis makes and every little thing that Ryan Garcia does is going to be viewed with a magnifying glass because everybody's anticipating this fight and nobody wants any hiccups before we get to the fight. It's already tough enough and hard enough to get the fight announced and signed, sealed, and delivered. And then you have, this photo surface in Gervonta Tank Davis being wheeled around in a wheelchair when he's a young, healthy professional athlete that's only 28 years of age. You never expect to see Gervonta Tank Davis in a wheelchair unless it could be something minor, as I stated, right? It could just be, a fatigued legs. Maybe he could be saving his legs. He's in training camp, doing a lot of walking and a lot of exerting a lot of energy and putting a lot of stress on his legs. Maybe it was strategic, that he wanted to get off his legs, and he was being wheeled around. Now, I know people are saying, well, in order for him to be in the wheelchair, you have to have some sort of medical reason and proof. You can't just go up to the staff and tell them that you need a wheelchair. But, at the Super Bowl at this venue, I'm sure Gervonta Tank Davis could possibly go up and tell him, listen, I hurt my knee, I hurt my ankle, my back hurt, I'm feeling stiffness in my back, so on and so forth. Now, you don't want to put those things on you if it's truly not the case, but who knows? He could just be preserving himself, right? That would be smart. There's a lot of walking, a lot of movement going on. You want to preserve your legs. That's why fighters and professional athletes, they stay away from intercourse and they like to stay away from their loved ones, so it don't drain them, right? And Gervonta Tank Davis, we know, is already in camp. Ryan Garcia is in camp, but they both was at the Super Bowl. It would have been wise, in my opinion, to announce the fight at the Super Bowl. All eyes are on it. A lot of attention is on it. And it's a lot of exposure. You want to tap into the casuals as much as possible, right? You want to get as many casual fans to buy in, not buy in, but just buy into the fight, buy tickets, buy pay-per-views, just sell the fight, promote the fight, right? So I thought that, at the Super Bowl where Ryan Garcia is in attendance, okay, Gervonta Tank Davis is in attendance, and you have a superstar entertainer like Rihanna performing at the halftime show, they could have been somewhat of a part of it at the very end, right? There was some dead space at the very end where it looked like Rihanna was going to say something on the microphone and didn't. You could have had Gervonta Tank Davis on that, platform, rose up in the middle of the air, facing off against one another, with a referee in the middle, to promote it. That would have been huge, right? That gets fans and people that are casuals, not sure, not too familiar with Ryan Garcia, Gervonta Tank Davis, to get them to buy in. Who was these two guys, right? Who is, Ryan Garcia? Who is Gervonta Tank Davis? Who was these fighters, right? And Floyd Mayweather was there on top of it, right? Floyd Mayweather was there. I thought it was a drop. The ball was dropped. I thought it was a perfect opportunity, but nonetheless, it's still a very, very big fight, but you want to capitalize to the highest degree. Okay. You don't want to let any moments, any promotion slip away. And I thought they dropped and they missed the opportunity, because I definitely for sure would have had the highlights playing. When Rihanna got off, I would have had, Gervonta Tank Davis on the screen with his highlights, Ryan Garcia facing off. All eyes was on the field because everybody was paying attention to Rihanna. So at that very moment, you could have seized the moment and had them both promote this fight. But nonetheless, it didn't happen. And then we see these pictures surface of Gervonta Tank Davis in a wheelchair, and fans' concern grows rapidly, right? But again, I don't think it's nothing to be alarmed about. Maybe he twisted his ankle. That's not a good thing. Maybe he twisted his knee. Who knows, right? Maybe he just had fatigue in his legs. Maybe it's, anything can happen. He is a professional athlete that, trains hard. He runs every day. I'm sure, he's way more disciplined than he was when in his younger years. Today's time, he's immediately back in training camp after his fight. January 7th, he was immediately back in training camp. Not in full-fledged training camp, but back training, right? And in past days, you'd see Gervonta Tank Davis, enjoying the fruits of his labor in between fights, and that's not the case. He's taking Ryan Garcia very serious, and Ryan Garcia has very fast hands, power in both hands, so he definitely has to take him very serious, okay? And Gervonta Tank Davis is focused, right? So I'd take it with a grain of salt, but at the same time, it is concerning, right? Because you just don't know what it is. Maybe it could be a ankle injury, God forbid, and it pushes the fight back. Who knows? But this is the last thing fans want to see. They don't want no injuries. They don't want no hiccups. They want to get the fight signed, sealed, delivered, see the fight, get it over with, and then move on to the next. That's how the fans in the sport of boxing operate. They are, what have you done for me lately? They are the epitome of what have you done for me lately, the sport of boxing fans, okay? And so, there wasn't many pictures that surfaced of Gervonta Tank Davis either. And that's, I wonder why. Maybe this was something that people were saying, we haven't seen Gervonta Tank Davis, actual pictures, just people in his team, and you see Gervonta Tank Davis in a wheelchair being wheeled around. But again, who knows what took place? He might have slipped and fell, and this is probably protocol to take him to his seat. Or maybe it's just, again, like I said, enjoying the fruits of his labor, his status, right? He going up to his suite all the way up, going to an NFL stadium, man. It's a lot of walking when you got to go up to the suites, and normally they have elevators and things of that nature, but you just never know what could take place. But of course, it's concerning to see him in a wheelchair. He's a young professional athlete at the top of his game, so of course, you see Gervonta Tank Davis in a wheelchair ahead of this mega fight with Ryan Garcia. People are going to be concerned, but I don't think that it's going to prolong the fight. I think that we'll get an announcement. We know Steven Espinosa, Showtime president of sports, stated that they wanted to wait after the Super Bowl. Oscar De La Hoya was saying he wanted to do it during the Super Bowl. So there's a lot of mixed reports that come out. And everybody understands the magnitude of this fight, and I just don't believe that they're going to let it slip away. I'm hard pressed to see them let a fight of this magnitude slip out of their possession, man, and let it fall by the wayside. It can marinate some because they're both still very young. Well, at least Ryan is 24, Tank is 28. They're still young, and they still have time to build it. But the fans are ready to see it right now. No hiccups. Don't want to see somebody possibly take a loss or something of that magnitude and derail the fight itself. So let's see how this all unfolds and plays out, man. So we saw Gervonta Tank Davis in a wheelchair and it raised concerns to the fans, which is natural, but I don't think it's nothing serious. At least I hope there's nothing serious about it. Gervonta Tank Davis healthy, get this fight going. That's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button, drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know it's your boy, Blue Blood.
Garcia, you're watching Blue Blood Sports TV. Wow.